Okay, so you look at this and you're probably thinking, a simple kid's book, right? But what if I told you that inside this story, the one about Ginger the giraffe, there's actually a powerful blueprint for leadership, especially in a crisis? Today, we're going to break it all down and see what this little story can teach us.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It seems a little out there, but trust me, this story offers a surprisingly clear and, honestly, a really practical guide to getting through some of the toughest challenges. Let's dive in and see how. All right, so our story kicks off the way a lot of crises do, with a problem that starts slow, but ends up affecting absolutely everyone. Picture this, the African savanna is just parched, there's a terrible drought, the grass is all dried up, and for most of the animals, food is getting really hard to find. But look at our hero Ginger. She's not really in danger, not yet anyway. Thanks to that super long neck, she can still reach the fresh leaves way up in the trees. So she's safe, but her community isn't. And that's a classic leadership dilemma, isn't it? Do you step up and act even when you're not the one who's directly affected? You know, a huge problem can feel kind of abstract, kind of distant, until it hits you right where you live. And for Ginger, that moment happens when she sees the crisis through the eyes of a friend. So while Ginger's having a snack, she finds her friend, Mickey the monkey, just lying on the ground. He's so weak from hunger he can't even talk. And this is the turning point. For any leader, you can look at spreadsheets and reports all day long, but seeing the real human or, animal impact firsthand, that's what really makes you act. The whole idea of a drought suddenly has a face, and for Ginger, it's the face of her friend. Ginger doesn't even think twice. She immediately starts nibbling leaves from the top of the tree and drops them down for Mickey. Now, this first move isn't some grand strategic master plan. It's simple, it's a direct response, and it's driven by empathy. It's really the first step of leadership. See a problem and offer help. Right now. As soon as Mickey gets some strength back, he explains just how bad things are. It's not just him, it's everyone. They're all running out of food, and real panic is starting to set in. The whole community is so desperate, they're actually thinking about making a long, really dangerous trip to the jungle, and they don't even have a real plan. There's nobody in charge.
And this brings us to a really crucial step. Ginger helped her friend, sure, but she knows that a bigger problem needs bigger thinking. So what does a smart leader do when they realize they don't have all the answers? Well, they go find someone who does. So instead of trying to solve this whole mess by herself, Ginger decides they need to go talk to Leo the lion, who's known for being the smartest animal around. And notice this, she carries Mickey on her back. A great leader doesn't just point the way, they help others get there. This whole trip is about building a real strategy, not just acting on impulse. It's kind of like a startup founder seeking out a seasoned advisor before making a huge company-changing decision. Leo confirms their fears. The situation is really bad. He can't make it rain, but he gives them a clear, if difficult, plan. The entire community has to migrate toward the forest. There might be more food there. It's a hard truth, for sure, but it's a plan. And in a crisis, a clear plan is everything. Okay, so having a plan is one thing, but getting an entire scared community to follow it, that's a whole different ballgame. And this is where Ginger really steps into her role as a leader. When Ginger and Mickey get back, something pretty amazing has happened. The other animals, they heard about their mission to go see Leo, and they're already waiting for them. They've put their trust in Ginger. Why? Because she was the one who took initiative. She didn't ask to be the leader, but her actions made her one. This is how leaders get buy-in, not by demanding it, but by earning it. See, Ginger's leadership isn't based on being the biggest or the strongest. It's built on 4 things: feeling empathy for her friends, taking the initiative to find a solution, having the wisdom to ask for help, and being selfless enough to get involved even when she herself was totally safe. These are the qualities that build trust, and trust is the most important currency a leader can have. So they have a plan, they're united, and the journey begins. But as it so often goes in a crisis, things are about to get a whole lot worse before they get any better. As all the animals are making their way across the dry savanna, a thunderstorm starts to roll in. But instead of rain, a bolt of lightning hits the grass, and it just explodes into flames. So now they have a fire, an immediate life and death threat, on top of the slow-moving crisis of the drought. The situation has officially gone from bad to so much worse. This is it. This is the ultimate test of leadership.
The plan is literally in ashes, and pure panic is taking over. This is the kind of moment that forges a leader.
And this is where a leader's unique strengths become absolutely critical. While everyone else is freaking out, Ginger stretches her long neck high up above all the smoke. Her natural advantage gives her a perspective no one else has. She can see a safe path forward, and she calmly tells everyone where to go. She turns her own inherent trait into a tool that saves the entire community.
And then, at the exact moment they escape the fire, the storm finally breaks. The rain starts pouring down, putting out the fire, and more importantly, ending the drought that started this whole mess. They don't need to go to the jungle anymore. Her leadership got them through the worst of it, just in the nick of time. The crisis is over. So, after all of that, what are the big takeaways here? I mean, it's more than just a nice story with a happy ending. It's a repeatable process for how to handle a crisis. You could almost call it the Ginger method. First, don't just observe a problem from afar, get up close and see it for yourself. Let empathy be your guide. Second, know what you don't know. Be smart enough to consult with experts. Third, unite your community around a single, clear plan. And finally, when chaos hits, and it probably will, lead with your unique strengths and always, always with kindness and courage. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Leadership isn't always the person with the fancy title or the corner office. A lot of the time, it's just the person who sees a problem, cares enough to do something about it, and inspires other people to come along. So take a look around. Who is the Ginger in your community, at your job, or in your family? It might even be you.